Hi guys, just want to do a tank review today. I picked this up quite cheap actually. It is the Ijoy maxo v12. I picked this up because I'm in the UK, so obviously things are starting to go cheap now because of the new regulations coming in. I managed to pick this up for £20. It is just the regular kit, so I haven't got the RDA dock, but still for £20 you can't complain. So this is the box. Unfortunately, they've only got silver in stock, so I mean I would have preferred the rainbow colour, but silver's okay. I believe they do this as well in black, black, gold and the rainbow, and obviously silver. So this is the box. On the back you've got information about what's in the kit. On the side you've got the coils, the RDA dock, which you can get in a kit. If you buy the bigger kit you get that inside. It comes with a chip XL, the Limitless XL chipped coil, the ones that light up, and obviously the V12 coil as well, which is actually installed in the tank. So let's open it up and show you what you get. Obviously the tank, pop that out. You've got a warranty card, and then your little bits inside. So like with every tank you've got spare O-rings, a spare gasket for the top where you fill it up. Oh, and obviously the drip tip adapter. So you can obviously, it's the wide bore drip tip, but that's so that you can use your 510 if you wish. You get a nice little screwdriver, spare glass, and the chipped coil. Now you get like a little silver ring. This is the adapter so that you can use the XL light up coils. You screw it onto there, then screw it into the tank. I believe as well from what I've seen that you can use the XL RDA docks. They will also fit in this and you can use them in this tank. So the tank itself, now as you can see, it's quite a big tank. It's 28mm tank, 62.9mm in height, and will hold 5.6ml of e-liquid. So yeah, quite a beast. You get a lot of e-liquid in there. The filling system is quite good. You just push on this bit here and it pops up, and then you've got the filling system, a bit similar to the TFV line. The only difference, you don't twist, you push. And you would expect this would, you know, pop open when you've got it in your pocket or whatever, but I haven't had that happen to me. It's only, you know, if you push on it to click it, it's quite secure. Now with this being a big tank, the only negative I can see with these bigger tanks is, even if I pop this on my RX 200, even on a big tank, a big mod like this, you can see you've got it's hanging over here. Now there is a mod that's made for this tank. It's called the Zenith. Yeah, so the Zenith mod. At the minute on the website where I bought this, they are selling them as well for £20, which is a bargain. It is a big mod like this, and it's similar shape, but it has lights on each side. The only negative with that mod is it isn't variable wattage or anything like that. It's just got literally a turn, like a turn thing that you move to push your voltage up and down. That's it. It is regulated, so it's not a mechanical mod. It is a regulated mod, but there's no screen or anything like that. You literally use variable voltage to turn it up and down, and the lights down the sides tell you when your battery, you know, different colours for when the battery's getting low, and that's it. Still, it does look like a nice mod, and with this on top, especially with the light up coil, it's going to go very nicely. So that's another thing to think about, and especially if you're in the UK at the minute, you know, all the tanks and everything, you haven't got long to pick them up. So, you know, £20 for a tank, £20 for the mod, not bad. But anyway, let's get this mod off here. Let you have a closer look. Alright, so you've got 2 air holes. It doesn't go all the way around, it clicks shut. And you can, you know, move it. It doesn't move, I mean, it's got no, like, anything stopping it from moving. But I've not actually had it turn on me, so that's not bad. The air holes obviously are quite big. So you can, obviously, like I've said, you fill it at the top. And change the coil. You obviously you have to unscrew it at the bottom. So now you can see inside. Nice big chimney, and this is the coil. Now this is the v12 coil. It says on the website it's 12-fold coil head. So I'm not actually quite sure, you know, how many coils are actually inside it. I mean, it's quite a big, and it's supposed to be rated from 60 to 315 watts, which is just crazy. I mean, that is a crazy amount of power. So you know, this tank is definitely built for you know, cloud chasers. If someone wants a lot of clouds and power, you're going to get it from this coil. Right. So yeah, so that's this coil. Now I'll just give you a quick look at this one as well. And now you've seen these before if you've had a Limitless XL. These are the chip light up coils. And as you can see, I mean, this coil's a lot bigger when you take it out. So this is what this little adapter thing is for that I was on about. And you literally just screw it in. And then you can use these coils in here as well. And there you go. So it is like data interchangeable with other coils in their, you know, in Ijoy's collection of tanks, which is good. Right, I'm going to go for a second, prime this up, fill it, and show you how it vapes. Right, we're back. So we've got the coil in there, some e-liquid. This is a stair. Which is a 80 VG 20 PG mix, and it's a 3 mg nicotine. We've got it on 100. We'll start 131 watts. So yeah, as you can see, the vapour, I mean, that's only just over like 131 watts, and you're getting a massive amount of vapour off it. The only thing I don't like, actually, I just mentioned before we go any further, the only thing that they could have done better with the filling on this tank is, if I can try and get it in there, the hole for filling is a little bit like the TFV8. It is not quite big enough for these type of dripper bottles. You have to really try and push it in there, which unfortunately you end up getting liquid around here, which sometimes goes down and floods the coil out a little bit, so you've got a bit of spit back, which I was getting then. So that's one thing Ijoy could do better. Maybe more like the TFV12s. The smock I've learnt there, and the fill thing on the TFV12 is much bigger than the TFV8. And I think that's something that this could be improved on. Won't really matter if you're using the little 10ml bottles, which all of us in the UK will be pretty soon. But just something to think about. Let's get it back on that. There we go. So we'll turn it up a little bit more. I mean, this does say that it can be from 60 watts, but I've tried this on, say, put it on 70. Next to nothing. I wouldn't advise using this coil on anything under 120 watts. So that's something else to think about if you're not wanting, this is really a coil for people that are wanting to pump a lot of power through it. So we'll put it up to 150. As you can see, the vapor is really, really good. The only thing, like I said, is I'm getting a lot of spit back off this coil, but that could be to do with the you know, the filling mechanism as well as the coil. And even though I've literally just been vaping it a few times, it's red hot. I mean, you can barely touch it without it burning you. I mean, this is something that happens, I know, with all the tanks, but my v12 doesn't get nowhere near as hot as this, and it is a very hot vape. I mean, if you don't like, I mean, I'm not particularly fond of really warm vapes. I prefer it cooler. So this coil, not the tank, obviously I'm going to put the other coil in as well and show you what that one's like. But this coil in particular gets very warm. It's a warm vape. But if that's what you like, and you like a lot of power, then yeah, this coil is definitely for you, this tank. I mean, that's a 178 watts that was, and that was burning, the vapor and everything was burning my mouth. So I don't know how you would get this up to 300 watts personally, but I'm guessing some people have, but I can't do it. And it is not, I don't like this coil very much at all. And it's not because it's a coil that's supposed to be for massive amounts of power, because I use the v12 at over 100 watts and it's a nice vape. I'm just not keen on this. Not the tank. I actually do like the tank. I mean the coil. I don't like this coil, but I'm not really. I don't like a warm vape, and I don't want it massive, ridiculous amount of power. You can get the same clouds out of a different coil that's nowhere near as hot, for me anyway. But I'm gonna take this one out now, and I'm gonna put the chip coil in there and show you how that one vapes as well. Okay, we're back again. So I've got the XL C4 chip coil in here now. You can obviously see it's a lot smaller. I mean, I know I've seen other reviews where they haven't bothered, they've only reviewed the other coil that came with it, which I can understand because that's the one that's made for this particular tank. This is obviously coil that's for the XL tank, the Limitless. But it's worth showing because it comes in the box, you get it with it. I mean, I've never had a Limitless tank, so for me it was still new. So yeah, this is the red LED. I did get a green with it. I'm not sure whether all the kits will come with a green, but mine was green. I used the coil, so I bought some more and I picked red. And as you can obviously see, they do look quite good on there. So, right, we'll start it at 70 watts. Not a bad amount of vapour for 70 watts. It's a nice cool vape. You're getting a decent amount of vapour off there. The flavour's nice. So yeah, even at 70 watts it's a decent vape. We'll put it up now to 95. As you can see, again, you're getting much more vapour at that at 95, obviously. It's still cool, the flavour's still good. No spit back, like I was getting quite a bit of spit back off the other coil. That's something you don't get with this. Now, let's turn it up once more. It's 120. So yeah, even more vapor. It's getting warmer now. Obviously, the higher you go, it's going to get warmer, but it's nowhere near as high. Even when at the low temperatures with the other coil, it's really hot. The vape's warm, and personally, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be. I mean, other reviewers have given good reviews, but I mean, it says it's from 60. There's no way you could even vape it at 70 or even 80. Well, as you've seen, nothing comes out. You've got to have it well over 100. And once you get over like 130, it's getting really warm. And when I had it at 150, it was literally burning the inside of my mouth. The vapour was that hot. So I'm not a fan of it. I mean, I don't think the rating is very good. Definitely, it shouldn't be. It should be at least from, I don't know, 110 as a start, not 60. And I couldn't imagine putting 300 something watts through it. I don't know how anybody could vape it like that. I mean, maybe some people do, but I certainly couldn't, and no. But no, I'm not a massive fan of the coil that came with it, so I'm actually really happy that they did this and made it compatible with these coils, because the coils are brilliant. I think they're brilliant anyway. The taste of them, the vapour, it's a nice cool vape. You can vape it under 100 without it, you know, and it will actually fire, not like the other one. I mean, obviously you could just get, if you wanted these coils, you could just get the Limitless XL tank, which is much smaller than this. I never had one of them, so I can't really say what they're like, but obviously they're not going to be as big as what this one is. But the overall design of the tank is pretty good. Apart from it being, you know, quite chunky. I mean, this is on my Lazimo. So, I mean, which it hangs over at the sides. Doesn't bother me, you know, a great deal, especially when I've got the case on it. You can't really see. But I know that other people are very, you know, they don't like any overhang. Well, that's something really to consider with this, because a lot of mods you're going to get, you know, overhang on it. I mean, I've got... This is the v12, and I mean it's big compared to this, which is a massive tank also. So that the size is something to consider. Also, I mean, if you're wanting a lot of power, you are wanting that type of vape, I would go for the v12 over this. The coils in this, the TF, I can't remember what the coil's called now. The big coil for all the 12 watts is actually really good, and can and will vape under 100 watts perfectly fine. I haven't reviewed the tank yet. I might actually do that. But yeah, I think if you're looking for a high wattage tank, I'd go with that over this one, personally. But if you're just wanting a tank and you haven't already got the Limitless XL, then these coils are really good. I would vape this over either of my TF tanks, because I'm quite happy with 100 watts. You know, you're getting plenty of vapour off there. I mean, it does get hot even with these coils in, but all these big tanks do. It's not hot enough now to burn me like it was with the other one. I mean, that literally, if it touches your skin, you burn in your hand. Obviously, juice, that's something that I found though with all these big tanks. They literally drink the stuff. You go through so much juice. I mean, I used to buy, I could probably get through like 40, 50 mil a week. Now I'm getting through like 90 mil within a few days if I was using this tank all day long with either coil. I mean, but the TFs are the same. The only, like the sub-ohm tanks, you know, this sort of like the Clito 120, because they're not super sub-ohm tanks. They don't typically take us nowhere near as much juice, so it's just another thing to consider. But if you're looking at these sort of tanks, they're all the same, so I can't really say it's a con with this one, because it's a con with all of them, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's it. There's not really much more to say. I like it, I really like it. I love these the light up coils. One thing actually that I did notice, which is obviously, again, it's an obvious, the battery life. Obviously with these light up coils, your batteries are not going to last you nowhere near as long. I'm changing my batteries more than once a day now if I was to use this all day long. So that's another thing. I mean, if you had a triple battery mod like the Rouleau or I don't know, the Zenith that's made for this, then probably you're going to get more out of it because it's obviously got 3 batteries in there. But for just a dual battery 18650 battery mod, then it does kill the batteries quite quickly with the light up coils. But I think that's an obvious, isn't it, really? But yeah, I think that's really all I can say about it. I'm not a massive fan of the coils that it's actually made for this tank at all. I think the TVF, like I said, TVF12 for me is a lot better, or TFV12. But that's it. Still a good tank. The design's good. Maybe a little bit bigger filling hole would be good, but I can't fault anything else. I've not had it leak on me, which is obviously a big problem with some other tanks. I've not had it leak. The airflow's very good. It's not too much, and it's not restrictive at all. It flows nicely. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching.